At the time I'm writing this, I am partaking in the phenomenon called the 2-week Minecraft phase. Fun fact, this was also the first time I beat the game alone, because yeah, none of my totally real friends joined me this time, which meant I got more time to think about the game. There are a lot of things to talk about when it comes to Minecraft. Its history, its consequences, its current state, but what caught my attention the most this time was the lore. All of the recent updates seem to try and implement a story to your Minecraft world. Most people don't really mind it because they just ignore it, but if you actually stop to think about it, you'll start to wonder, why are we giving Minecraft lore? For most of you, Minecraft lore doesn't go deeper than a guy wanted to kill a dragon for no apparent reason. In reality, there is a lot more behind it. In a nutshell, it's a story of an ancient civilization building, destroying, harvesting, planting and transforming the world in various ways. There is a game theory about it, and by a game theory I mean 40 of them, so you know it's messed up. Of course, I know that Matted made up like 90% of it because he just does that sometimes. However, Mojang knew what they were doing. They hinted lore everywhere. There wouldn't be a massive portal in the ancient cities if there weren't meant to be any lore. Or a promo for Spicewood apparently. Mojang wanted to give Minecraft lore. Why? Short answer, money. Slightly longer answer, to make spin-offs to sell to make more money. Video chapter sized answer, Mojang is desperate for money and Minecraft spin-offs are driving me insane. Most of the lore in Minecraft seems to be adapting in some way the lore from the spin-offs, primarily legends. Though of course, Minecraft always had lore in the form of structures like the Woodland Mansion or Desert Temples that maybe weren't necessarily meant to have lore but just do because of the questions they raise. Apart from that, Minecraft stayed pretty lore-free until the release of Minecraft Dungeons. Even though it wasn't directly tied to the original, Minecraft Dungeons clearly showed an interest from Mojang to add more narrative to Minecraft. Since then, more and more lore-y features have been popping up in your everyday Minecraft world. Ruined portals, bastions, ancient cities. These structures seem to have the purpose of having some lore instead of just being cool stuff you find. Sure, we had lore-focused structures before with the shipwrecks or abandoned mineshaft, but never something this big. Minecraft Legends was even more impactful, since instead of a spin-off, it's a literal prequel to Minecraft. It explains the origin of your world. And shortly after its release, we got the Trails and Tales update, bringing the trail ruins with the exclusive purpose of giving us lore. Now, you might be thinking that this isn't necessarily bad. Minecraft may be getting lore, but that's expected from a game in development and doesn't ruin the game, in fact it should enrich it. Generally speaking, you will be correct. However, we are not talking about a random game, we are talking about Minecraft, a game that's explicitly about freedom, creativity, and whose experience is defined by the player rather than from the game itself. Giving the Minecraft world a set plot would disencourage the players from inventing their own lore, their own origin, or their own story. I know that in Minecraft's current state, the lore isn't prominent enough to interfere with what happens within the players, but if Mojang keeps giving the lore more and more relevance, we might eventually just have to settle for it. This leaves us with a rather complex situation. Having lore in a game, even if it's just a little, can give everything the player does a meaning, without necessarily altering its purpose. In Minecraft, this can improve some aspects of the experience, like the exploration, but compromise some others, like the narrative that the player itself creates. Compromising or limiting the player's creativity goes strictly against Minecraft's whole essence, though. Again, forming a story in Minecraft isn't impossible, since the lore is too subtle, but if it builds up over time, it can potentially be harmful for the player's experience. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be that way? What if Minecraft could have a perfectly complete story, a meaning to this world that doesn't compromise what the player does, in fact, a story that would encourage the player to make its own even bigger? And what if that hypothetical story was actually real and in fact in Minecraft this whole time? That's right, I'm talking about none other than the end poem. As I said in the beginning of the video, I recently just beat Minecraft alone for the first time, which meant I read the end poem and, what can I say, this shit is absolute cinema. For the ones that never had the absolute mood that is reading this, first of all, I'll link it to the description, watch it. The end poem is essentially an intervention from the universe itself. The voices of the end comment on what the meaning of Minecraft is, and they don't really come to a solid conclusion since there just isn't one. They refer to it as a dream of the player, a dream where the player creates and destroys. That is the plot of Minecraft. And I don't mean that the story is what the player makes of it. The story is the journey of the player while creating it. Something interesting about this poem is that it doesn't just break the fourth wall, talking from above the game's perspective. It talks from above the player's perspective. It comments on how you have played and it refers to itself as a part of the experience you're watching, while in reality, it's watching you react to itself. Minecraft acknowledges that it is a game, and by doing so, it becomes much more than that. This conclusion not only fits beautifully with the premise of the game, but also makes sense in whatever story you create, since the plot of Minecraft lays above whatever it is you build. When you play Minecraft, you don't always feel represented by the ancient builders or a war against the Wither or by fighting a dragon, but there's something you're always doing, and that is creating. Whether you just build a house, a farm, a contraption, whether you play with friends or against them, whether you share your creations for millions to enjoy or you just keep them to yourself, you'll always be imagining, and that's what the true plot of Minecraft is meant to be about. I wanted to make this video because I'm afraid we might lose this premise that has been so iconic of Minecraft ever since it was created. Many things are going to change. With the Minecraft Live happening in a few weeks at the time I'm recording this and the movie coming up, we are definitely entering a new stage of Minecraft history, and I think it's important to remember where the game started to know where we need to take it. At the end of the day, you are the one to decide what Mojang does in terms of lore. So, what do you think? Should Mojang add lore to the base game of Minecraft, or should it be exclusive to the spin-offs or different types of media? Let me know in the comments, I'd be glad to read your opinion on it. Now though, and without more blocks to place, thank you so much for watching, and as always, thanks for the views.